No matter the path you walk, I will be with you every step of the way. Anything you ask of me, I shall see it through. You saved my life, and I am in your debt.
Alright, let's give you a item. Let's see what we can actually give you. Old map of Enbar, that's hers.
Oh, that is mine. Thank you so very much.
Hello, my guardian, and welcome back to the stream, and thanks for the welcome back. Yes, I am back. I am talking to everybody in the monastery. I have watched a bunch of supports, and I have to watch a few more. How are you doing tonight?
During the Millennium Festival, the leaders of all territories were supposed to gather together and pledge perpetual peace.
Well, that didn't happen.
But now that hope has been dashed, thanks to the Emperor's actions. The Alliance is also divided on the subject of the Empire, so internal conflicts are a regular occurrence.
So yeah, you can tell which of these characters are Knights of Zeros and which ones actually belong to the Kingdom Army, because the Kingdom Army will have blue highlights in their uniforms and the Knights of Zeros will have red in their armor, which, if I remember correctly, somebody explained it to me about the Buddhist symbolism in this game. Red and white is like a significant color combo in Buddhism, so that's where that comes from. What's going to happen to us? Well, I'm pretty sure this is the chapter where the monastery gets attacked again, so that's gonna happen. But don't worry, we'll be fine.
It seems that in the last 5 years, the monks here have left this place for the town below. However, once they learn of our return, perhaps they'll come back. I hope the monastery can return to normal someday.
Yeah, one can hope. Imperial army may attack again. No shit, Sherlock. They already know that Dimitri slaughtered their troops, so yeah, of course they're coming back. Let's see. Where are we? So yeah, you can see a bit of destruction, a bit of construction going on, but it's really not a lot. The place is really still mostly intact. Hi Felix, I love your new outfit.
Hello. I have a request concerning that creature. I can hardly look at the thing in the state it's in. Do something about it. Please do.
Like I said,
we tracked the boar for 5 years. I thought he was dead. In the state he's in, he might as well be.
Felix is abrasive and he has his faults and he is a bit black and white, but yeah, he does actually care about his friends, and that includes Dimitri. Oh! Oh my guardian, I hope your internet stuff gets sorted out soon. I know you just moved. I hope the new place is good outside of the internet connection.
He's gotten better at killing people. And in exchange, surrendered what little humanity he had.
Yep. Do I have a lost item for you? Yes, I do have this. An item awarded during Kingdom Knighting ceremonies. It probably belongs to someone closely related to a knight. So this is actually his deceased brother's Iron Spur.
That's mine. Thank you for finding it.
Oh, Felix. All of you guys have so much trauma in the Blue Lions. I love it, and I'm also really sad for all of you. Oof. Yeah, get yourself some of that ant bait that gets carried back to the nest and takes out the entire nest. Because that really helps. Alright, who's this from? I fear falling asleep at night. I worry that I will not awaken for many years, and when I do, my friends will be gone. We won't allow that to happen. This is Flame. She actually has a legit reason to be afraid of this, because she is one of the children of the goddess. She is part dragon, basically. And for her kind, really, when they get badly hurt, they do fall into a long sleep. As we had with Sophis, who herself fell into a long sleep after having to restore the continent. And Flame herself fell into a coma for almost 1,000 years after overextending her healing powers in the battle against Nemesis. So she actually has a legit reason to be worried about that. And here we have Ignatz. I really love his post-time skip design. Absolutely love it. Every last piece of it.
Oh, Professor.
Good to see you, Ignatz.
Seeing everyone together again, it's like I'm in a dream. I feel it's time for me to forge my own path and find my own place in this world. Yes, they're in the Alliance, but they're merchants, so they have the means to escape if need be.
That's good to know. Do I have an item for you? Yes, I do.
Oh, that's mine. Thank you so much. I've been looking everywhere.
You are very welcome. Let's go. Now here is something really nice, really interesting that I love about this game. Just like you could see Dimitri's mental state deteriorating in the first half of the game, like you could literally see him become more stressed, become more skittish. You can also see his mental state improving in the second half of the game. Because when we first talk to him in this chapter, he does not even talk to us. He just looks at us and turns right around again. But already in the next chapter, he will start to speak to us again, even if it's just a one-word sentence. The chapter after that, it will be a full sentence, and so on and so forth. Like, you can see that he's slowly, very slowly getting better, and I really love that.
Need something?
Alright, in deck, let's go.
This one? You're all set. See you again soon.
4 more chapters, and then we're done upgrading these. Alright. Do we have anybody else up here? Oh, and I absolutely love Dimitri's time skip design. Like, just love that armor. Kind of questionable where you would get armor like that when you live in a run for 5 years, but you know. Still dig it. Looks great. Alright. Before we move on, I think, yeah, we have a support there. I don't know whose support that will be. Possibly somebody that I already motivated. Before we move on, let's have a look at a few more supports. We already finished this. Mercedes, who do we have? None of the people that I actually want to have final supports with. Same for Annette. Same for Ingrid. So now we are really getting to the point where we might not even have to check this menu all that often anymore, because we are going to be having a lot of supports with people that we don't actually want to have to end up together. So yeah. Also, who do you have a support with that is not... Do you have a support with the do or something? Because he has a blue icon and a white icon, which means he has a support with both Byleth and somebody else. But I don't see anybody else in his support list, so that is really weird. So it's gotta be one of the missing characters, which means either Dimitri, Dadu, or Lawrence. So it's probably Dimitri. Oh, these two. We're definitely watching these two.
That battle was a decent challenge, but when push came to shove, they didn't have a chance. Before long, all of the church's enemies will have been destroyed.
You must really love worshipping the church. Or is it just Rhea?
Lady Rhea. You're the only one in the Knights who doesn't address her with the proper respect. It's not just that I worship Lady Rhea. I respect her, admire her, revere her.
I don't get the Ceros religion. Or Rhea.
Shamir, if you were anyone else, I would cut you down for saying that. She saved your life.
She did, and that's why I fight for her. Doesn't mean I worship her.
You never change. You're so stubborn.
You're the stubborn one. When we're on missions related to Rhea, it's like you're wearing blinders. Wanting to help her is admirable, but you'll be of no use if you get yourself killed.
I don't plan on getting killed. And it's not that I'm wearing blinders. I'm just focused. I've devoted my heart to Lady Rhea. She's the reason I wield my sword. As long as you don't get killed or cause me any trouble, I don't really care. So my death would cause you trouble? That's not what I meant. Let's give it a rest. There's no point in arguing.
Fine, but I want you to know something. It's not easy to put your life in the hands of someone who doesn't share your beliefs.
I understand. I think we can both agree on that.
And yet here you are, both relying on each other. I think that was actually the last... Yeah, that was the last one of the non-Byleth supports that we have to watch. Okay, that was quick.
Hey, you. Well...
Alright, let's see whose support this is.
Oh.
Ingrid.
Professor.
Okay, let's go. I think this will give us...
Apologies for bothering you so late. I just really wanted to speak with you. Thank you. You see, I've been feeling conflicted about my future. It may seem petty to worry about such things in the middle of a war like this. This isn't something I open up about with many people. Feeling such a sense of inner turmoil while a war rages on, and others are fighting with all they have, well, it feels a little selfish. The truth is, I've wanted to be a knight ever since I was a small child. Not just any knight, like one you might find serving within the castle guard, but a true knight, one serving a master. However, my father has always had different plans for me. He wants me to marry, for the benefit of the Galatea family. Defying my father feels wrong. I've seen how he's struggled over the years. His burden has always been far greater than any I've had to bear myself. While he fed me extravagant meals, he subsisted on meager portions and watered-down soups. He never once complained, even though he must have been starving.
Yeah, and for context, they are the ruling nobles of that region, so you can only imagine how bad the food situation must be for commoners in Galatea territory.
Knowing his sacrifices, I've never been able to tell him of my dream of becoming a knight. Now that this war has begun, my father has allowed me to fight for my homeland. But even if I do become a knight, I feel an unease deep within me. I fear I will never escape this guilt I carry, that I have shunned my duty as a noble. To follow both my dream and my duty? I had never considered that as an option. Perhaps there is a way.
Ingrid, there are literally knights in the kingdom of Argus, some of whom were serving the king himself, who are married and have kids. Like, how did this not occur to you? How?
Even with the academy days long behind us, you're still a professor through and through. Always listening to others' troubles and offering up your wisdom. I really am grateful for all that you do for us, Professor. I hope you'll always be here as a guide to everyone. I know I myself would appreciate that deeply.
And yeah, I think it is in her A or A plus support with Sedef that you find out that she never even told her father that she wants to be a knight. And we literally just learned that when she told her father, hey, I want to fight in this war, her father did not have any problem with that. So it's not like he would be unreasonable and wouldn't listen. Now, another interesting thing that I didn't mention before, you can actually go into the notes on your characters and you can see what they did during the time skip, if they did anything. So for Byleth, it's literally just regain consciousness. But here, you can, for example, see what happened with Dimitri. So escaped in year 81, a year later began, basically as Yuri pointed out, slaughtering entire battalions of Imperial troops invading kingdom territories, and then ended up at Garrickmark. So he's been basically fighting against the Empire on his own just wiping out entire battalions for at least 3 years, which is impressive, disturbing, and scary. Felix has been fighting against the Empire. He actually became... he went back to House Row, and when House Row decided we're going to join the Empire, he decided, nah, I will have none of that, thank you. He also has been fighting against the Empire for the last 5 years. She went home to her father and joined the merchant business. She joined her uncle as well and helped him deal with official business. And I think in Three Hopes it is explained that her family has like a rich port city or something. Ingrid has been helping her father. And so yeah, some of these characters have literally been fighting the Empire the entire time. Like Ferdinand, for example. Linhard returns home and indulges in laziness. Yeah, that sounds about right. Caspar has literally cut himself off from his house and has been fighting the Empire. And Bernie is one of those characters that I don't get. Like, she absolutely hates putting herself into danger and she hates being around people, but somehow still decided to escape alone and come to Garrick Mark. Like, okay. And also the close allies list, as you can see. This is very helpful if you want to make sure that you pair people up. Because if you want two characters to pair up, you want them to be each other's closest ally. So, for example, that would mean for Bernadetta and Linhard, Bernie has to have Linhard in the top spot. Byleth doesn't count because Byleth gets to choose who he or she marries. But for the other characters, she has to have Linhard on the highest spot and he needs to have Bernie in the highest spot. Which right now he doesn't. Right now he actually has Caspar in the highest spot, so we gotta fix that. Then we have Dorothea. Travel to various places to help people. This will also come up in dialogue. She basically took care of a bunch of orphans. Petra actually went back to Bridget for a little bit and then came back to fight the Empire because she was like, yeah, no matter which way this ends, if we just wait and sit here, terrible things are gonna happen to my country. Raphael has not really had it. Raphael has basically been a bit unemployed. He has been helping with merchant business. She has been helping her parents. So it's a lot of like returning home and helping the parents. Except for Hilda, in which case it's like returning home and just enjoying her free time. Which, this is another reason why I say like the Blue Lions feel like the only house where a war really happened. Because everybody was busy. Either fighting the Empire or helping out with official business, but everybody was busy in those 5 years. She has been fighting just to become a mercenary. Searches for Archbishop Rhea. And yeah, Gilbert has been living with Rodrigue, which will come up later because these two have actually been working together for a long time. And this is interesting. Alois has actually led the Knights of Seros in search of Lady Rhea. Which ties into his solo ending where he becomes basically the new captain of the Knights of Seros. Okay, Yuri has been traveling. Happy grumbles about being bored as a citizen of Abyss. Yeah, and as we already saw, Happy has actually really missed us, so...
Okay. I'm thinking...
In the Alliance, the Lords have been at odds, so peace and prosperity have declined there as well. In particular, bandits have been appearing in large numbers near the Great Bridge of Murden. Rumor has it that the domain's lord, someone by the name of Acheron, is a completely ineffectual leader.
Makes sense, because we've already met Acheron and we know he is an idiot. But it's also foreshadowing to chapter 15, where we are going to the Great Bridge of Murden. Hello, Mom and Dad. It's been 5 years. I'm sorry I did not bring any flowers. Moving on. Let's see who we have down here.
Okay. Hey,
Oh, Shamir. There you go.
I'm more of a mercenary than a knight these days. I work to get paid. I never was too attached to Fodlan. I was considering leaving soon, but I might change my mind if you're around.
Aw, thanks for sticking around. Do I have one of your old items? I do actually.
Thanks. How did you know this was mine?
Let's go.
Right. Professor.
I hope we restore the monastery. All in good time, my man. We have a bunch more pressing things to take care of. Like saying hello to everybody. And getting some class ranks and stuff like that. Lady Rhea still hasn't come back. My dude, that's not really up to her, I'm sorry to say.
No.
If only it was that easy.
Okay.
Lady Rhea has not yet returned. Not really her choice.
Hey,
Oh, there we go, Sylvain.
hey, Professor. It's been a while. An awful lot has happened
sorry.
in these past 5 years. There were so many times I wished you were around. I'm glad you're back. Your skills are worth more than a whole army.
I do have something for you, don't I? Yes, I do.
Oh, that's mine. Oh, thanks, Professor. You really saved the day.
Alright, there we go.
Professor, is there any reason for me to remain here? I want to be useful, of course, but I'm not sure anyone needs me.
You're a healer, Marianne. Of course we need you.
If you really mean that, I will stay and do my best to help.
We're in a war, my dear. We need medics. So yes, please stay. Do I have any of her items? I don't think I do. No, I don't actually. Okay, we'll have dinner with you later, Marianne. Although actually, she's one of the people that I wanted to motivate the most, right? Yeah, because I need to unlock her hidden talent. Okay. Well,
Professor,
while you're getting a gift then, you are getting an owl feather.
I appreciate.
There you go, my dear. I hope you enjoy it.
Professor! Hey, Professor, something's been bothering me. Remember that suspicious guy I chased after back when I was a student? A knight scolded me for it, but at the time I really thought I was doing the right thing. Now that I've had more experience on the battlefield, though...
I've been looking for you. There isn't much time, so I'll keep this brief. The knights encountered a band of brigands while out marching. It was hard fought, but we prevailed. Our soldiers are highly trained, but the enemy was formidable, and we weren't expecting combat. There were a number of casualties among our troops. There is something I wanted to bring to your attention. Do you recall the incident 5 years ago involving a suspicious individual in Garreg Mach? These brigands all bore the same scorpion tattoo that we found on the arm of that man.
Oh no.
What a coincidence.
I thought that might be of interest to you. Don't mention it. If you'll excuse me, I need to get back to my duties.
Heck of a coincidence, right? As soon as I mention that suspicious guy, this happens.
It's called shoddy writing, but okay.
But some of the knights died in combat. They died because of what I did 5 years ago. This is my fault. If I'd stayed quiet and tracked the guy down like you said, we would have stopped those brigands sooner. And I wouldn't have blood on my hands.
Let's not be that harsh.
It's no use trying to comfort me. You know I'm right. Just say it. Those poor knights. It's all my fault.
Maybe this guy was just going to have lunch, then we would not know anything more about him either. Or about his group. Like, there's no saying that he would have led us to the rest of them. Let's put it this way.